Tamás Darni from Hungary. He broke the 2-minute barrier. He's probably the greatest all-around swimmer of all time. American David Wharton set the American record in 1989. Top qualifier, lane 4, is a member of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, Rock Santos. He placed 12th in the breaststroke, but he is notably famous for beating Mike Barrowman in the U.S. trials. We had a chance to speak with him earlier about life after the Olympics.
I think that being at the Olympics, seeing what it's all about, and realizing that you're so close to a dream, and then realizing that I missed it, and then you have to live with that. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, and then you decide. You have to make a choice. There's 2 roads to go. You can retire, or you can take the other road and just, let's go for it. And then if you go for it, you got to give everything you have. So in part of that, you got to remember what happened and what mistakes that you made, and build on that and experiment and try new things, and then see how you do.
So you're looking at the top qualifier in the 200 IM, Rock Santos, and he'll be in lane number 4. Adjacent to him is Tom Dolan in lane 5, a 17-year-old who swims for Curl Burke at 6 feet 6 inches tall. You can watch this to be a great battle. 4 lengths of the pool. You see the field, top qualifiers in the center lanes. Probably the fastest swimmer in the first half of the race is lane number 2, Mikhail Savov, who swims for Team Saluki, but he's out of Bulgaria.
Watch this guy in lane 2, like you said. The first half of the race will be his. The flying back, especially the backstroke, very strong. But once again, Rock Santos, he'll look like he's completely out of it until he gets to the breaststroke, and then he will make his move. The question is, can he hang on that last 50 meters when the entire field has great legs in the 50, in the freestyle?
So they're taking it out nice and easy in the butterfly, the first of 4 lengths of the race. Pool is 50 meters long, half the length of an American football field. As they come to the first turn, looks like lane number 1 at the top of your screen. That's Dave Schlesinger, 17-year-old from St. Petersburg, appears to turn first.
They've got to stay real relaxed here. Important to roll their shoulders now. You notice the first half of the race, John, the flying back is very much a upper body type event. When they get over to the breaststroke coming up in about 15-20 meters, they've got to concentrate on the legs, the lower body, and a lot of IMers meet their death right here in the breaststroke because the great IMers usually have a good breaststroke.
Well, at the turn, it looks like Havid, that's Fred Havid, who swam for Spain. He's out of the Canary Islands, who will turn first at the midway point. Here comes the breaststroke and Rock Santos.
He's not only got to blow right by these guys, he's got to do it by a lot, because this morning he was about 2 seconds ahead of the field, and he barely hung on to be the top qualifier. So he's got to get going and keep going.
Man with a shaved head in the foreground, Fred Havid, an 18-year-old. And here's Rock Santos with a strong breaststroke leg. He's not only, as you said, got to catch the field, he's got to pass them. So we come to the final turn.
See, that's about a second lead right there, but he needs more than that because Havid will go by him in the freestyle.
Rock Santos breathing to his right, watching this competition. Havid with a strong kick as he's gaining ground.
You can see he's a much longer stroke. He's still very much in control. Very relaxed entry. You can see Rock right above him. He's kind of wild with his arms, and he's tiring.
So Havid goes by with 5 meters to go as we come to the finish of the 200 IM. Havid touches first. In second place, Rock Santos, and in third, it appears to be Marcin Malinsky. So somewhat of a surprise, but a great finish.
Yeah, just look at his kick behind him on the bottom of your screen, like you said, with a shaved head, coming in very strong underneath the water, and that's where it was won.
Freddie Havid, he swims for American University, hails from the Canary Islands, and swam for Spain in Barcelona. And so the results are official. Fred Havid, 2:06.08 the time. Rock Santos, runner-up, and Marcin Malinsky, a Polish Olympian, places third. Our next event is the women's 100-meter breaststroke, where the world record set by then East German's Silke Horner, set in 1987. The American record set by a youngster, Anita Nall, 1:08.17, a great time just this year. And our top qualifier, Emily Short, will be swimming in lane number 4 at 16 years of age. At this meet last year, she tore her foot on a camera track at the U.S. Open, and she's back now with a vengeance. You can see our field of 8 finalists. Lane number 3, Allison Feely, is the youngest in the field, 14 years of age.
That's not saying much. They're all young. And this is a young field. The oldest person is 19 years old, and that's Sheppy up in lane 1.
2 lengths of the pool in the breaststroke. Emily starting out pretty strong, but our lead appears to be in lane number 6. Danny Mastagni, Dick Bauer-Bolts.
And that's the only chance anybody has to beat Emily Short in this field. They've got to get out and be close to her at the 50 because she's so strong that first 50.
We're taking a look now at Danny in lane number 6. 5 feet 8 inches tall, 125 pounds out of New Orleans, but first to the wall to no one's surprise. Emily Short, she finished the race in the prelims a full second ahead of any other swimmer.
She swam a smart first 25, John. She didn't jump on it right away. Boy, that second 25, she really took off.
Emily Short, a double gold medalist at the 1990 U.S. Olympic Festival, looks to be building her 100 breaststroke right now.
Yeah, she does. Timing and rhythm. There's such critical words in breaststroke. You can see that timing and rhythm she has. She has that kind of an over-the-water recovery, which enables her to stretch out a little bit further and get so much out of not only her glide with her arms, but her kick, because she has a powerful kick behind her.
But here comes the youngster, Feely. 14-year-old is going to go by her at the wall. Touching first it is the junior, Allison Feely, from Cincinnati Pepsi Marlins. What a great finish. And though she's 14 at 5 feet 10 and a half inches, she's no small child. And a victor at the end of the race. What a finish.
Wow, that was amazing. We're sitting there talking about Emily Short, and look at Feely. She just blows right by her the last 10 or 15 meters. Starts to increase her turnover, and you can see the last couple of strokes got her.
And in third place at the top of your screen, that was Gabriela Seppi. Let's go down to the edge of the pool where the surprise come from behind winner is with Dara Torres.
Allison, Emily Short was ahead of you. How did you catch up to her?
I tried to keep a positive attitude through the race. I tried to keep myself motivated.
Now, and is Anita Nall, an Olympian who holds the American record in the 100 breaststroke, someone you look up to? She's only a couple years older than you.
I'm trying to make my goals like hers. The Olympics is one of my goals.
Well, this was a great swim. This is a good start to the Olympics. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Allison Feely demonstrating the enthusiasm of youth. As we take a look at the official results, the winner, her time 1:13.51, just a couple of ticks ahead of Emily Short. Gabriela Seppi from Hungary places third. We'll be back with the men's 100-meter breaststroke featuring Sergio Lopez and Seth Van Neerden. Breaststroke, we've got 3 great names. The world record, Norbert Rocha from Hungary, set in 1991. The American record set by Nelson Diebel, 101.40 at the Olympic trials. As we take a look at top qualifier, Seth Van Neerden, that red swim cap with Fort Lauderdale. He's one of 3 Fort Lauderdale athletes competing in the finals here. We spoke with his coach, Jack Nelson, about how he's peaked his team for this competition.
I'm a firm believer in swimming fast. I think that's why we train. And I think training 7 or 8 months in a row without any chance to go fast is a big mistake. I know that disagrees with some of the thinking in this country, but I feel like one of the most boring things for a swimmer is to have to train for months and months and months and months and never get a chance to go fast. And since that's the name of the game, going fast, I feel like we need to practice going fast. So that's why we're here. 3 times a year, we want to go fast.
So Seth Van Neerden, the top qualifier, is one of the athletes to be favored. Also in the race, Sergio Lopez in lane number 5, a 24-year-old representing Carl Burke. He swam for Spain at the Barcelona Games. And also in lane number 2, Rox Santos, an American Olympian, places 5th in the 100-meter breaststroke at the U.S. Olympic trials, placed 12th in the 200 at the Olympic Games. 2 lengths of the pool, Rowdy, and you can see the field is an international flavor and a lot of representation from Fort Lauderdale.
You know, I like Seth Van Neerden and Sergio Lopez in the middle of the pool, John, because they have different styles, but still very fast. You can see Joseph Nagy right there, the coach of Lopez and Rox Santos, and also the world record holder, who's not here, Mike Barrowman.
Joseph Nagy introduced the Hungarian wave, a new style, and we'll see the difference here. Seth Van Neerden is the American record holder in short course meters.
Like I said, 2 styles. Van Neerden likes to go out very fast. He was very fast in the prelims and faded at the very end. But he's also a good 200 breaststroker, so he'll be a lot better tonight in the finals. You can see right there, he's got that wave-type recovery. He reaches out and over the water, gives him a good stretch, and he's in first.
Van Neerden to the wall first in second place. James Parrick, a 25-year-old from Santa Clara, swam in for England at the Olympics in Barcelona.
I tell you what, though, Lopez swam a good first 50, though. He stayed right in there, and you can see he's starting to make his move right now, John.
Lopez in the blue cap, Van Neerden in the red as we come to the final 20 meters. Now recovering out of the water. Van Neerden with the very loping style.
Both of them are coming up over and above the water. Gives them that long reach out front, but Van Neerden looks very strong on the end.
Powerful kick to the wall. Van Neerden in first. In second place, Sergio Lopez. In third place, James Perrick. Out of lane 6, hold on to the bronze medal position, and Van Neerden, you picked him at the start of the race, Rowdy, and he held it all the way to the wall.
He just exploded the last 10 or 15 meters, too. He was very strong the whole way. You can see him coming into the wall. Once again, that Hungarian style, way over the water. Very, very nice finish on the end. We talked about him fading in the prelims. I think he probably just backed off in the prelims because you could see that strong front view of his stroke where he actually has his hands come out and over the water, gives him that tremendous reach, and just his flexibility, his strength are his assets.
Special credit to Van Neerden. He not only won the race, he also took the meet record away from the runner-up. Sergio Lopez had it. It now belongs to Seth Van Neerden. He's with Dara Torres poolside.
Seth, it looked like speed was your advantage today. You took it out really fast.
Didn't feel like I took it that fast. I tried to make it long and comfortable and hold on to distance per stroke. And it seemed to work out for me.
Now, you just missed making the 1992 Olympic team. You're 24. What's keeping you in the sport?
Well, as long as I can still swim fast, I'm going to keep swimming. I enjoy competition, and I just love to be in swim meets.
Sounds like a good incentive. New meet record. Congratulations.
Seth Van Neerden, as long as he's winning, he'll stick around, and as he keeps up this pace, we'll see a lot more of him in the years to come. Sergio Lopez drops a notch to second place. James Perrick from Great Britain takes the bronze. If there's one thing that can be said for certain, this next event will be one of the closest finishes in the competition. The 50 freestyle is one length to the pool. The world record held by the Chinese, Yang Wenyi, set in 1992. 24:79 that time, will probably not be beaten. Jenny Thompson holds the American record. So we get ready now for the start of one of the glamour events, the 50-meter freestyle. And the top qualifier from SMU, Gitta Jensen, the 20-year-old who swims for SMU but represents Denmark at the Olympic Games. She was a gold medalist at the U.S. Open in 1991 in a slightly longer distance. In the lane next to her, the youngest swimmer in this field, a 13-year-old, Lindsay Farella. She's our second fastest qualifier and somewhat of an unknown, so it could be a question mark here as we see this race develop.
It tells you a lot about the experience of Jensen and Farella, the youth of this swimming competition, as you take a look at the rest of the field.
A critical start and a great one in lane number 6. Laura Lloyd, a 16-year-old from the Glendale Gauchos, really took advantage of that start.
Wow, she got a great start. Now watch these swimmers. They've got to get their turnover going right away. You can see the tremendous kick behind them, and they've got the better the kick, the higher the water they are.
And still 6 is leading, but as they come to the finish, it could go either way. Gitta Jensen in the red cap in the middle of the screen. As she gets to the wall, she does touch first. Gitta Jensen, a 20-year-old. The Danish record holder in the 50 and the 100-meter freestyles, wins the gold here in the 50 free. Second place in lane number 2, Anita Lee, 26.60. Just a little more than 0.2 of a second back. What a finish, Rowdy.
She's so long on her stroke, and it's unusual because usually in the 50 freestyle you can see count down 4 from the top in the red cap, just so long on her finish, zeros in the wall like a radar, keeps her head down, shuts down her breathing. Tremendous finish, and that's a big part about the 50 freestyle, John, is the start and the finish.
Let's take a look at that start once more.
3 from the bottom, right, that start in lane number 6. She had a good start, but could not hang on toward the end. Jensen did not have a tremendous start, not known for her start, but just so long and strong throughout the entire race.
And so, welcome, congratulations to Gitta Jensen. Her time, 26:38. Anita Lee takes the silver for Canada. Debbie Kinsley from the United States sneaks in for the bronze. When we return, it'll be the men's 50-meter freestyle starring the defending national champion and Pan American Games gold medalist, Todd Pace. American record holder, 21:81, a fantastic swim. Possibility that somebody in this field might someday break that time. Our top qualifier, though, is Todd Pace, and he is one outstanding athlete, one of four Fort Lauderdale athletes to compete, the top 4 seeds in this event. As a matter of fact, we had a chance to speak with Todd earlier.
The U.S. Open is important to me because it gives me a chance to swim against some of the international competition. Like last year, the Australians came. And even though in the United States it's not quite as important as, say, nationals or NCAAs, you know, some of the guys are still coming here swimming fast and tapering and shaving. But as for me, just to have a U.S. Open title and to win and to gain some experience and swim against some international competition is what it's all about for me.
Though Todd Pace was officially recorded as 8th place in the Olympic trials in this event, the videotape replay of the race showed him as high as 4th place. A talented swimmer, no question about that, but he is also facing a talent in lane number 5, fresh from the Soviet Union, Raimundis Majolis, a 20-year-old whose stroke and efficiency is somewhat reminiscent of the Olympic champion Popov. He'll be in the adjacent lane. One of the young up-and-comers in the field, though, in lane number 2 is Gary Hall. The name should sound familiar to swimming enthusiasts because his father was a 3-time Olympian, medaled every time, and carried the American flag into the Montreal Olympic opening ceremonies. Gary, a national record holder for junior swimmers in lane number 2, should not be counted out, but the race is probably rowdy in lanes 4 and 5.
I think so. Majolis and Pace have got to be the guys to beat here. Good start by Todd Pace. He gets up right away and starts swimming. He's very, very strong the first half, the first 25.
Unlike most swimming, this is done on top of the water, and Pace seems to have a small advantage. Pace in the red swim cap in lane number 4. Here comes Majolis.
Boy, look at Majolis coming on. He's going right by him.
And it's a fingernail touch. The electronic timer is the judge, and it's 22:47 to 22:52, lane 5. Majolis wins it. Raimundis, they call him Raymond on the team, just came to the United States and is training. What a smile he's got. Not much of a surprise and a nod of encouragement and appreciation. What a great swim. 1/2 of a 1/10 of a second separating these two great athletes.
You know, the 50 freestyle is a start and a finish. Todd Pace had a great start, but the finish was Majolis. He came on like a bat out of you-know-what, John. I'm telling you, the last 10 meters, he just came out of nowhere, and boom, look at the finish. He came in head up and very much in control the last 5 meters. So you can see on the start right there, Todd Pace gets off much quicker than Majolis, but in the middle of the pool, that's where Majolis started to make his move.
A very strong and long stroke for Majolis. You don't see that kind of efficiency very often, but it certainly worked for the man who just came in from the Soviet Union. Lithuania is where he hails. He placed 10th in the 50-meter freestyle and the 100-meter freestyles in Barcelona. Todd Pace looking forward perhaps to a rematch. That's Jack Nelson, the Fort Lauderdale coach of both the top 2 finishers.
Has done a tremendous job with the Fort Lauderdale swim team.
Fort Lauderdale goes gold, silver, bronze behind Majolis, Pace, and Lubner. The youngster Gary Hall just out of the medals with a 4th place finish. We'll be back with more swimming from Orlando, but first let's return you to our studios in Atlanta and Nicole Watson.
Back to Orlando, I'd like to mention that our 3 commentators have 9 Olympic gold medals. Not bad, guys. Let's go back to John Neighbor for more of the 1992 U.S. Open.
Thanks very much, Nicole. Our coverage of the U.S. Open Championships continues now from the Aquatic Center in Orlando, Florida, with the women's 100-meter butterfly. The world and American record set by Madam Butterfly, Mary T. Maher. That record has been around for more than a decade. Only woman ever under 58 seconds. Top candidate, Angie Westerkrieg. The 28-year-old is the oldest swimmer in the meet and also the oldest U.S. Olympic member. With the Barcelona team, she's swimming out of lane number 4. We had a chance to talk to her about whether she can continue to compete at that level in the future.
Physically and mentally, I mean, I feel like I'm capable of going and going and going. It's really hard for me to visualize or imagine my life and myself doing anything else. I still feel really strong. I'm still really excited about swimming. So I really have no idea. I don't want to put any limits on myself at this point.
So Angie Westerkrieg trying to prove that her best days are still in front of her. 2 lengths of the pool, butterfly. She will be in lane 4. Her rivals on either side, Lisa Kuhl and Jean Tedesco. Lane 1 towards the top of your screen, counting down 4 lanes in the white cap with the red letter S. She swims on Team Stanford as Angie Westerkrieg.
Westerkrieg swims with a lot of confidence, John, and this is very important, this first 50. She's got to keep it very under control, stay relaxed, let those hips propel her forward.
This is one of the closest fields in the meet. All 8 athletes within an 0.8 of a second's range of each other as they come to the first and only turn. At the wall, it appears to be lane 4. I'm sorry, that's lane 3. Lisa Kuhl turns first in the blue cap. The white cap belongs to Angie Westerkrieg.
Lisa Kuhl was very fast in the prelims. She was out fast, but she faded at the end. This is where Angie Westerkrieg is better than perhaps anybody in the world right now. In the last 20 meters, she's really coming on strong.
It's a 2-woman race as they come to the final 10 meters. Their focus of attention should be on the wall for a clean finish. Westerkrieg with a 6-inch lead. They're stroking even, but she gets to the wall first. Kuhl for the second place. Tedesco finishes third.
That was a very close race. I tell you what, Angie Westerkrieg swam a very smart race. She didn't panic when Lisa Kuhl went out very fast the first 50. You can see coming up in the finish, she just, with those powerful hips of hers that drives forward with that powerful kick she has also. You can see right there, she puts her head down 1, 2 strokes, and that was very, very close on the end. Lisa Kuhl swam a great race, though. Oh, she's just so powerful, John. I like her stroke. She's got a lot of experience. You can see her head's very high, keeps those hips in it. Tremendous kick. Look at the white water she has behind her. Tremendous kick behind her.
And so Angie Westerkrieg, her experience and her confidence propelled her to a gold medal here at the U.S. Open. Dara Torres is poolside with her.
Angie, where'd you get that energy at the end of your race?
I don't know. I guess I just really wanted that one pretty bad. So I knew it was going to be now or, wait till next year.
The experience played a role in this win?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we've been working really hard in practice, and I swam another race right before this, and I kind of just had to carry the momentum. I couldn't let myself totally relax and rest. So I just had to keep that momentum going.
Angie Westerkrieg, one of the few athletes to return from Barcelona and immediately jump back into the pool. She was the national champion a couple of weeks after her Olympic performance, and that experience carries her through today. Gold medal for Westerkrieg, American sweep for the top 3 places. We'll be back to see the men's 100-meter butterfly featuring World Championships gold medalist Mark Henderson. To our coverage of the U.S. Open Swimming Championships in Orlando, Florida. Our next event is the men's 100-meter butterfly, the world and American record set by the American heartthrob Pablo Morales, whose comeback in Barcelona was rewarded with a gold medal. Mark Henderson is the top qualifier in this event. He won a gold medal leading off a relay, or swimming on a relay at the 1991 World Championships, bronze medal in the 100-meter butterfly. He is our top seed by about 0.3 of a second. He was one of the athletes heavily favored to make the U.S. team and was rather disappointed by his performance earlier in 1992. He's back with a vengeance, Rowdy Gaines.
He swam a tremendous Olympic trials, just missing making the Olympic team for 92.
An older field, lane 2, Justin Finney is the only teenager in the bunch. Everyone else is from 20 to 24 years of age.
A lot of experience in this field, John.
Great start out of lane 3. That's Scott Walker, who swims for Fort Lauderdale, the team that's here with a vengeance. They're here to swim. Fully shaved and tapered are the swimmers in the red caps. Henderson, without the swim cap, is 4 down from the top of your screen. He looks like he's inching into the lead right now.
Very strong. He's breathing every other stroke. Very relaxed. You can see he's sweeping underwater with his pull, with his shoulders. It gives him a lot more strength than if they went wide.
Interesting swimsuit in lane 7, second from the bottom there. That's Brian Bubba Nickel. He's wearing the new S2000, a top and bottom suit that is said to be smooth. He's also getting into the lead as a result. Battle in the middle of the pool, but also Bubba Nickel in the bottom of your screen is going to be fighting all the way to the wall. It's going to be a close finish, folks, as they come to the final 5 meters. Mark Henderson with a small lead. He's going to get to the wall first. It looks like Bubba gets the second place. Very close finish. Take a look at the finish in one more time, and you can just tell.
Yeah.
4 down from the top is Mark Henderson.
Exactly, John. And watch him right there. Boom. 1, and then 2. He keeps the head down, and that's so important when you're zeroing in on the wall. It's got to be almost like radar. You've got to keep his head, got to keep your head down and get into the wall. And Mark Henderson did. You can see that powerful stroke he has. He's just so strong above the water, and his pull is just so tremendous. Let's see what it looks like underwater. You can see him right there. Like I said, he sweeps underneath his body with his pull, which gives him a lot more power, a lot more strength, because the shoulders are much better under than they are wide.
Derek Torres is with the champion, Mark Henderson.
Mark, did it feel as easy as it looked?
Well, I was out of the water for 5.5 months after Olympic trials. So right now I'm just concentrating on getting to my stroke and getting in my rhythm, and it felt pretty good.
Could you see the challenge in the lanes next to you?
Oh, yeah, those guys were coming up on me real fast. So it was a great race, and I had a good time.
Now, I know you're not supposed to peek when you swim, though.
Well, you can always see somebody they're splashing on the side of me, so it's a whole bit about racing.
Congratulations, great swim.
And it was a battle indeed. His time slower than his preliminary qualifying time, but the victory is sweet nonetheless for Mark Henderson of the U.S. 56:27 his time. The big swimsuit worn by Bubba Nickel comes in second place, and Scott Walker, the man with a great start, finishes with the bronze. Coming up, Carrie O'Hanlon, our top qualifier in the women's 100-meter backstroke, when we return with more U.S. Olympic gold. The next event in the water, the world record set by Christina Egerzegi at the Barcelona Olympic Games. They're knocking on the 1-minute barrier. American Lee Lovelace has the U.S. record. We take a look at our top qualifier, Carrie O'Hanlon, an 18-year-old who swims for Nova Aquatics. That's in Richmond, Virginia. And she placed in the 200 backstroke earlier in this competition. She is the top qualifier, and Rowdy, her challenge will probably come from Kim Heigl in the adjacent lane. She's 17 years old from Point Aquatics. That's out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. One athlete to watch for in lane 3 is the very tall Sylvia Pohl, now 22 years of age, was the first ever medalist for Costa Rica at the Olympic Games. Pan Am champion in the 100-meter backstroke. That's the event that's about to get underway. Take a look at your field. Our top qualifiers are in the center lanes. Counting down from the top of your screen, lane 3 is Sylvia Pohl. And lane 4 is our top qualifier, Carrie O'Hanlon.
Well, the race should come in the middle lanes, 3, 4, and 5. If anybody's going to have a chance to beat Carrie O'Hanlon, they've got to get out on her, especially the first 50.
You're looking now toward the top of your screen in the white swim cap. That's Sylvia Pohl, the Costa Rican. She went out